We were good. Now we are. All right, let's start. Good morning. I'd like to call a meeting of the County Facilities Committee to order. And begin this morning with the airport agenda. First off, I'd like to approve the minutes of the previous committee meeting. Have a Supervisor Conover on the motion, Supervisor Diamond on the second. Any discussion, any corrections, deletions, additions, etc.? If not, I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? No. Thank you. We have privilege of the floor, public comment. Anyone out there wishing to be heard? If not, we'll move down to action agenda, new business items, and I will allow Mr. Mapp to present those items.
Pretty good day today. The first one is a new contract with Baseline King. This is for the 4-box precision approach path indicator, PAPI replacement project. I think I've given you guys the update on that one. Baseline King won the bid, came in at $198,000 roughly. The total project cost $271,000. It's a 95-5, 90% funded by the FAA, 5% state, 5% local match. So they suggested award bid and contract Baseline King.
I'll just add that the
Yeah.
bid tabs are attached inside your agendas.
Thank you. You have a motion? Supervisor Diamond, second by Supervisor Thomas. Any discussion? Supervisor Connell.
Yeah, you've canvassed these bids, with the low bidder, you've gone through his bid, because I see it's substantially different
We have. Yep.
than the other two. It looks like to me, well, based on what you provided, that the part of the variance was in the, number 8 cable installation. One came in at 24, the others 54 and 87, so that explains some of the variance, but I don't know if that explains all of it, but if you canvass them and they're good with the bid, then it's a good bid.
I'd like to add that Baseline King is very reputable in this area. They do a lot of work at not only our airport, but other airports in the area. So they usually win a lot of the bidding.
Anyone else? Not to pose the question. All in favor? Say aye. Any opposed? Abstained? Thank you. Next.
All right, the second one is a new contract, Bass Hartfield Construction. This is for the 8-bay T-hanger construction project, phase 2. This is general contractor award. So Bass came in at $1,072,000, which is a little bit. Okay, this total project is 1.5 million. This one is state funded. So,
What was that again? I'm sorry.
this project is state funded as opposed to
Okay.
FAA funded.
So it's the 90-10.
It's the 90-10.
Right, there it is. Thank you. We have a motion. Supervisor Thomas, second Supervisor Diamond. Any discussion, comments, etc.? If not, pose the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, etc. Thank you. Next.
Then finally, the same project, Spring Electric won the electrical contractor award. Give me the $123,000 roughly. Again, the same part of the project. The 8-bay team.
Very good. We'll entertain a motion. Supervisor Diamond. Supervisor Thomas on the second. Any discussion, any comments? Not, question. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Anything else, Mr. Mapp?
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Very good.
Thanks, Rob.
Next, we have the Buildings and Grounds agenda. Privilege of the floor. Any comments, public, anybody? If not, we'll move down to discussion items.
Work order request program is currently at 4,507, work orders done. There are currently 15 that are still being worked on. Fleet car request program is 2,944 and growing every day. And the regional morgue update, Kevin has the documents on that.
So I don't have documents on it. So the regional update, I spoke at the last committee meeting that I would have, the consultant had all of our comments and they were reworking it and I would hope to have it for this committee meeting. They had sent us the documents, probably the beginning of last week. I reviewed the documents and I was not comfortable with presenting that to the committee. Not that they didn't have all the information within the document, but the information in the document did not flow. I felt that if John and Chairman Garrity were to take that to other counties to discuss it, all the information was there, but it was just not in order that I expected it to be in. So we reached back out to the consultant. We had a Zoom meeting with them on Thursday of last week, and we went through item by item on how we think it should flow or how I think it should flow, so that it basically tells a story of why we need this, what's the operational cost, and again, all the information's there. It's just not in a good working or a good flow that it can be presented somewhere. So we've given them till March 1st to provide us with the final document, with us to be able to take a look at it and make sure it's the way I want it. And then by March 15th, it'll be completely done. And I will turn that over to John and Supervisor Garrity. I reached out to Tim Murphy reached out to me, who's one of our coroners. Dr. Sikorica had suggested that he'd be more than willing to tag along on the kind of the roadshow to discuss this with other counties. And that's the update as of right now.
So we're gonna look at that document.
You'll have that document. Well, everybody's already looked at the document once, right? Because I handed it
Right,
out
but
before.
the revised.
And then a revised document I will have for our county administrator and our chairman to kind of take and I'd be more than willing to go with them on this roadshow so they can take it and discuss this with other counties.
Would be done by the 12th of March, you think?
I can push for that day. I mean, our March 1st date is to make sure that we don't have any other issues. If there's no other issues with it, or I don't find anything that I want them to change, then it could be completed as of then. So
Saratoga and Washington on the 12th, so.
I can get it prepared before that meeting.
My question was if that will be distributed to this committee.
I will give it to the committee to look at. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Most of the committee members have seen that document already. It's just, as I said, I was not comfortable with the way it told the story. And I wanted it to kind of flow a little bit better than what it did. So you've seen all the information. Most of the information is the same information. I don't think I had any comments from any supervisor. I think Supervisor Garachi was the only one that sent me comments on the original report. I can certainly hand it out to everybody again for a second round, but again, I don't think any information just necessarily changed. I just wanted it in a more
I just like to
concise.
see the format.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
I think everybody else would. Okay. Next is the Joseph Warren Museum.
Next, yep, so the Joseph Warren Museum, as I said, last committee was going out to bid. It is out to bid and we received bids this coming Friday, so we'll know what that project comes in at cost wise.
Where do we stand with funding again for that? Final cost, do we have some availability of funds?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're talking about occupancy tax funds. It's a little tight right now, but given the approximate cost, as long as we could spread it off over several months, spread the payments over several months, they think we'll be able to do it. So it'll be up to the OCTAX committee to approve it.
Any input from the budget officer?
No. It's, even if in my opinion, even if the general fund had to front the money to get it going and then seek Tax to reimburse it.
Thank you. Any questions, any other comments regarding this?
We should ask the planning department too, to start looking for museum money. Of the, humanities and museum, we should have them scouring to see if there's anything available.
Right, they have been, they haven't had much luck yet, but.
Every now and then they'll make an announcement, they're giving a meeting.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, we'll move down to the phase 4 court project.
Phase 4 of the court project currently is running on task. They just completed the ADA compliance of the first courtroom. Working on the second courtroom right now, raising the floor, making it ADA compliant with the ramps and the electrical work. And shifting into Judge Muller's. Right now, they're right on schedule. A few hiccups have come up, but we've taken care of those, and our team of Buildings and Grounds is helping the construction crew just to help them go a little bit on task and keep them going.
Very good, thank you. Any other comments or questions on that? If not, move down to referrals pending items. Design for updates to the front entrance of the municipal center building. Concept drawing was previously provided to the committee. Currently waiting for available funding remaining within the court project, so.
So that the bottom line is we're waiting to see what's left over. Scott said they had a couple hiccups. There may be a couple change orders, but we had a allowance within the contract anyway, so we're feeling that they'll fall into the allowance and it won't be any additional money or any additional money taken from the bond money. But I don't want to be say for sure until we know when that project is complete is how much money we have left over to do the work in the front entrance area.
The idea and the potential amount, or you don't want to
No.
injection?
No. Okay.
We'll blame you. All right, thank you. The next item is the magnetometer at DMV. We had discussed, I think at the last meeting, looking into other concepts to accomplish the same end. And I know we had an email from Under Sheriff Como on a different device. Any comments on that?
Yeah, so I actually just spoke with Terry downstairs. So they have two manufacturers of that pole type of magnetometer right now that can run the gamut of picking up ferrous material to picking up,
So
right? So both the companies want to do a demo. So we think it would be ideal to have them come in and do a demo. He's thinking somewhere around the first week of March that they want to come in and do the demo. These magnetometers run between $8,000 and $20,000. That's the cost of them. I think based on what I've heard, 8 is the minimal cost. So they
Yeah.
want to come in and do the demo.
Right.
We can determine from there.
What we're seeking to do is to have a more streamlined application, if you will, right?
Right.
Something that doesn't take as much time and room, et cetera. So hopefully we'll come up with something and then find out the actual cost, we can address that. So yeah, I look forward to demonstration.
So somewhere around the first week of March.
Everybody good with that? Very good. Anything else from the committee? Yes,
Just, and I support the museum renovation project, and I think the suggestion by the budget officer that maybe you could even do like a 5-year revenue anticipation note or pay it off out of our tax over that period of time.
Sure.
Is a good suggestion, particularly when you have a capital project where you have to have the upfront money. And we've done some very large things out of our tax, including the show there in Lake George. And the one element that yet to be funded for this year is the supplement for the towns. I would hope that that would be kept in mind as we go forward, what the plan is in that regard.
Sure.
And when that funding might become through, and if it can't come through this year, well, maybe we double it next year. You see what I'm saying? In other words, we try to keep some equity within the system. I know we're handing out money to different organizations. And I certainly have in the past supported that, but,
We need to be.
I
able
don't
to
think it should
create-
be at the expense of, the supplement for the towns.
Yeah.
So, in any event, I think some balance is gonna need to be required there.
Great.
I'd like to hear more on that going forward, if I could.
We will have more. As of, when do they do, Friday? The bids,
Friday, the bids are due. Yeah. So we'll see.
anything else? Anyone else? Privilege of the floor, any members of the public? Not entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Supervisor Diamond, second by Supervisor Jurassic. Adjourn, thank you, all.
Did you know the point Palmer played together?
Yeah. Phillies, right?
No, in Glens Falls,
Oh, yeah,
in the same high school.
high school, yeah.
Palmer